Greetings, beautiful people. This is SB Favorite Thinking Podcast, and my name is SB Favor. How are you doing today? It is Monday, November 9th, 2020. How are y'all doing? We are done with the election. Hopefully, everything goes according to plan, and we have the result that we already have. We hope that the result stays the same, right? And it will. It will. It will. We are hoping for the best. I have a guest today, and her name is Lisa Cole. Lisa, how you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you, SB?
I'm good. I'm glad that you decided to hang with me.
Well, thank you for inviting me.
Yeah, it's been a minute since we have been talking a little bit, and I just wanted to ask you what's going on? How you been dealing with the crazy pandemic?
I've been good. I've been blessed. I can't complain.
Yeah.
God has been He has kept me and my family. I think in a way I'm a homebody anyhow, so quarantining did not bother me,
Mm-hmm.
I think it kind of worked very well in my life. And
Yeah.
I think a lot of other people's lives too. I think everybody just needed God has a way, and I'm not getting into God and everything, but I will just say that He has a way of getting people's attention, and having people sit still and evaluate themselves and look at where they're at in life and slow down. I think that was a way of just trying to tell people, slow down and evaluate some things first.
Absolutely.
So when you have that type of outlook about things, and I try to keep everything positive, even when the negative tries to come in.
Mm-hmm.
I just take everything in stride. I take one step at a time, and because life is short, and we take advantage of it, even when we're aware. I believe we still take advantage of it, not necessarily intentionally.
Mm-hmm.
But I believe that, I think some people may have looked at it as a curse or something that, is maybe not so positive,
Right.
but you can always take the negative and turn it into a positive,
Mm-hmm.
And so I have just taken this as, well, it can, as they say, what the enemy means for bad, God can always turn it around for good,
Yes.
And so that's how I always take everything in stride.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it is so important to take the negative, as you said, to take the negative and turn it into the positive. And this time is definitely a time of reflection, and we all should be learning something during this time. And that is why I wanted to talk about the lessons learned during the pandemic, because, like you said, we should be reflecting on the things to evaluate ourselves. And of course, we should be focusing on spending quality time with the people that we love, right?
Yes, our family. That is exactly right.
Mm-hmm. 2020 has been very rough on all of us in some kind of way, but we are still here, and we have to continue to project the positive and stay happy. Stay happy. And I was reading something earlier, and I came across some information pertaining to people that live in Canada, the lessons they have learned during the pandemic. An interesting fact that I came across was that a lot of people in Canada are focusing on their mental health. Isn't that interesting?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. So I was checking that out, and mental health is, of course, a serious issue in this country. And unfortunately, sometimes people don't take it seriously because, the people that smile the most, they say, are the ones that have the issue sometimes, right? But we have to stay prayerful and stay focused and stay happy. And like you said, Lisa, we have to evaluate ourselves. I truly believe in that. And that was my intent of starting this podcast, was to take the negative, like you said, take the negative and turn it into the positive. Because I believe that people should be inspired. I think being inspired every day, being motivated by something every day, it gives you that extra push. And so
Yes.
that's important to me, And I always say, when I'm inspired, I can inspire somebody else. If you are motivated in the morning, and if you are inspired in the morning, your duty is to inspire somebody else. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, it's important to as you move through um, your daily routines. It's important to
Mm-hmm.
what's the word I'm looking for?
Just get through the day and staying focused.
But passing on. This is not the word I want to use, but
Mm-hmm.
passing light,
Yeah.
passing good energy,
Yes. Yes.
and exchanging and just good vibes and
Mm-hmm.
everything. Because if negativeness enters into the room, you can sense it. When positiveness enters into the room, a good spirit, a bad spirit, you can feel that.
Yes, you can.
And that's not to say that it has to stay the same, though.
That's right. That's right.
Somebody can enter in and they're in, like, they've had a terrible day.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we're all guilty of it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I know I am.
Yes.
You try not to be, but somebody might cut you off or whatever. You just in one of those moods. We
Yes.
get in those moods, but
Mm-hmm.
it's just important to recognize and when you do recognize it, go, okay, hold up. Maybe, is it me? Is it them? Maybe it is me,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
because we're all guilty. We're human,
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Absolutely.
it's funny, as you were talking about focusing and everything, I was
Mm-hmm.
thinking to myself, as we were leaving out of 2019 and
Mm-hmm.
nobody knew what was going to happen,
Mm-hmm.
people was, declaring and saying things, just 2020 vision, this and that,
Yeah.
blase this, blase that, with that type of outlook,
Mm-hmm.
and not knowing what was going to happen, what was to come.
Right.
You think about how 2020 vision.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe God wanted us to just focus and zone in
Yes.
and pay attention. So He's preparing us for 2021.
Yes, he is.
And
Yes,
that could be,
he is.
and I mean, think about it. A lot of changes. I mean, I'm very happy about the results, and with Biden and our president or vice president elect
Mm-hmm.
Harris.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
To me, those were my prayers. I was like, we need a change in this world, in this country, everything.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And I'm not a political type of person. However,
Mm-hmm.
Good vibes, recognize good vibes. People woke up, I feel like, happy. People woke up. I'm sure there's a lot of disappointed people.
Yeah.
However, it's been peaceful,
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's been a lot of rage and a lot of negativeness going on.
Right.
And it's good. Change is good.
Absolutely.
Change is good. And I'm just so thankful, because it shows that God hears us and God hears our prayers. The people spoke,
Mm-hmm.
and it doesn't take a whole lot to recognize that a lot of things weren't right.
That's true. I mean, people.
Common sense, but
Yeah.
I guess if you support the other side, you
Mm-hmm.
might not have that common sense.
Yeah. 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 People just need to know that we can unite and do better. Sadly, because of leadership in this country, people have taken upon themselves a certain attitude, which is not healthy. You know what I mean? But it, like you said, it depends on the vibe. Some people can agree with it, the spirit of the person. Some people can disagree with it. I think that when you walk in the light and you have a good spirit, you're supposed to spread that. And sadly, those that are not walking in the light, we need to be sensitive, even to recognize that, so that we can know when to pray and know what to say and what not to say, right?
Right. Absolutely.
Some people, some people just don't even know better, and I know some of my friends, they say, oh, well, you show too much mercy sometimes, but I just believe that some people just need to learn to do better. I think
Right.
that naturally we all have the ability and the potential to just be better, because I believe that's a seed of goodness that God has placed in all of us, But people are influenced by leadership. People are influenced by the things they see and what they hear, So
Exactly.
yeah, so but I'm happy with the outcome as well, and I just hope that all goes well in the coming days and weeks and months.
I do too.
Yeah.
It's important that people will unite and come together
Mm-hmm.
and just try to rebuild and everything, rebuild relationships. Because when you think about it, with the pandemic
Mm-hmm.
and everything that has transpired,
Mm-hmm.
it's like put a lot of people back indoors and separated people. And we have to learn how to come back together and you know, just when you know better, you do better.
Yeah. Yeah. And we have to learn that much more to value life and value each other, because I think that
Exactly. Short. It's short.
yeah, because before the pandemic, I think that some people would just, and I'm not saying this to be judgmental, because I'm not a judgmental person, but I'm just, I got to speak the truth when it's time to speak the truth. I just think that some people were just living so unruly that, no boundaries, no nothing, just out of control, right? And so all of a sudden we're pushed into a pandemic, and now all the bars is closed. Now all the clubs is closed.
Right? Like everything. I mean, I'm not a club person, but right? Them people that go
Yeah.
to the clubs faithfully on the weekend, just like them church people.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a club person either, but I like going to the resorts and all that
Oh,
good stuff,
absolutely. Exactly.
Yeah.
Down a lot of things like people like to go and in the summertime
Hmm.
listen to the like go to amphitheaters who you got or go to little just little hole in the walls or
Yeah.
whatever little
Yeah.
lounge spots just to listen to some live
That's
music.
true. Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Mm-hmm.
just little things that we took
Yeah.
for granted that we didn't think would ever be taken away from us.
Yeah. Yeah. And now we got to learn a new normal,
Right.
which is,
Because I'm going to be honest with you,
caution.
I'm tired of wearing the mask, girl.
You and me both. You and me both.
I wear them, but I'm tired. I'm like, but this is the new age. It's like this is it. I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
we won't ever go back. We might try to get back to normal, and I believe there will be a sort or a sense of normalcy.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
However, I believe that the way things are,
Mm-hmm.
nobody is going to go back.
Yeah.
That's the catch. Are you going to go back? No, we don't want to go back. We want to go forward.
Well,
We want to move forward.
I'll tell you one thing. We better all stay prayerful. I mean,
Yes.
this podcast is about motivation and being inspired, but I have to talk about God. I have to talk about the
Absolutely. Without
things
him, we are nothing.
that are important. Yes, absolutely. So,
He woke us up this morning.
yes.
I know he woke me up. That alarm didn't wake me up.
That's right. That's
God,
right.
he gave me some ears that I can hear.
Yes.
I
Uh-huh.
heard that bell go off.
Yeah, I say that sometimes, Lisa, because, I always address the naysayers out there like, oh, Lord, here she go talking about the Lord again. Here she go talking about being religious again. I'm not religious. I'm spiritual. Okay. And I believe in the name of Jesus. Okay.
Yeah. Amen. That precious blood of Jesus.
Yeah.
What it say? And I said this either yesterday or the day before.
Uh-huh.
I said, what's that scripture? Basically, there is no other name under heaven given unto men whereby we must be saved.
There you go.
I might not have said it all the right words.
You said it.
You know what I'm talking about.
Yes, I do. You said it. And so there it is. But
God is good, and he is good all the time. And I know he's the one that saved me, and I know he's the one that keeps me. And regardless of, I'm not gonna rag on anybody in whatever they believe, but I just know what I believe and who I believe in.
And we have to stay prayerful, because we don't know what's going to happen the next week, the next month, and into the new year. So I encourage you, listeners, I encourage you to stay prayerful, stay focused. When you are out, remain safe and vigilant while you're out. Pay attention to your environment. Get off that phone, pay attention to your environment, And like I said, remain prayerful. I'm not talking about just sometime. I mean, throughout your day, remain prayerful because you just never know what is going to happen. And I say that because when you are not praying, what happens is you get caught off guard. And you
Yes.
don't want that. You want to be sensitive enough to God so that when something happens, you will know what to do next.
Right.
So stay prayerful. Stay prayerful. So
Absolutely. And
yeah.
I agree with you wholeheartedly because
Mhm.
you have to, when I pray,
Mhm.
one thing I've learned over the years, be specific in your prayers.
Yes, absolutely.
I am not a spiritual, I mean, like, I'm not this religious type person, but one thing I do,
Yes.
I pray, and I'm specific.
Mhm.
And when I pray, when I'm praying for myself, in all honesty, I probably pray for others more than I do for myself. And I'm sure you're the same way,
Yes.
SB.
Mhm.
You just pray for others.
Mhm.
However, when you pray, this is just for me. I can't say if it's right for you or whoever else, but for myself, when I pray, or when I pray for others, I ask God for wisdom, for knowledge, for understanding, for peace. That God, let your light shine through me, because it's not for me to receive any of the glory, but only God to receive the glory, because without Him I'm nothing.
That's right.
And I pray for God's direction, and I pray for God to put people in the right in my right pathway. I don't care if I'm getting ready to leave the house and driving down the road. God, cover us and protect us and get me back to and from my destination safely.
That's right.
Those are things, specific prayers, because when He wants us. There are certain things I know I get on His nerves. I know I be praying certain things, and I know I get on His nerves.
Right.
And because it says you got it. Like, He loves it when we pull on His coattail.
Oh yes.
Of His garment, and we got to come boldly.
Yes.
And I said, okay, God, guess what? I know I sinned today. I might, Lord, forgive me. I cussed somebody out down the street.
Right.
I'm just being real.
That's right.
Not really, but maybe so.
I hear you. I hear you.
I'm just keeping it real.
That's right.
Lisa Cole will keep it real. I keep it 100. That's right. And I'm nowhere near perfect. I would never ever think that I'm just on some high horse, because you know what? The person on the street, that could be me one day. The person that don't have a meal, that could be me one day. God forbid, but it could.
Yeah.
No, and do I think that would happen? No, but we have to stay prayerful, and we got to also be compassionate towards others who don't have it, or maybe they're just going through a transition of whatever. I know we were talking about the pandemic and everything. I know it might sound like I'm jumping from here and there.
No, keep it going.
But it's like we got to be so compassionate.
We do.
Towards other people, because guess what? There's somebody out there, SB, that might not be as positive as us. They might not be able to get up and say, oh, I can do this today. No, they might be in such a state of depression. It's hard to pull yourself out when you are in a state of depression.
Yeah.
However, you got to also be careful and guard yourself that depression, that spirit, doesn't jump off on you. Because then, guess what? If you get down like that, I mean, we all face it. I know I battle depression sometimes.
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah.
We all do. I mean, I'm gonna admit it, and I not all the time. But there's some days where it's hard. And like today, I had a struggle getting up out of the bed, not because I was being lazy. I just kind of had to I've been having trouble motivating in certain areas of my life. And today I was just like, get up, get yourself together, put yourself together, and get on a move.
Right. Right. Well, that's why I mentioned, prayer. We have to stay focused, and we have to be prayerful, and we have to make sure that we are evaluating ourselves. You said that perfectly, Lisa, and I'm glad you said that, because when we evaluate ourselves, we get to see where we are in the moment. And like you said, Lisa, you can tell if your mood has shifted into a place that you shouldn't be, right? That's when you know you need to pray, or that's when you know you need to talk to somebody. And during this time, as I mentioned earlier, mental health is a
Mental
major,
health is
it's a major
major.
deal. So make sure
It's
you,
real. It's
yeah,
real.
yeah. So people, make sure you check on your friends, your loved ones.
I mean, people are going through some hard times right now, and by all
Yes.
means, I mean, we're all going through it. But
Mm-hmm.
some people just may not be able to deal with it. They might be alone. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? They
Yeah.
might not have family around them.
That's
I mean,
true.
it's just, they might not have a whole lot of friends out there.
Right.
You
Right.
know,
Right.
or somebody that they feel comfortable enough to express themselves
Mm-hmm.
in the if they needed a shoulder to cry on or whatever.
Yeah.
Some people just need to be shown love, because that's what it's all about. As
Yeah.
long as we can keep expressing love and showing love to other people,
Yes.
then you know what, everything's going to be good. But we got to look after our people. We have to look after those who God might lead us to. We
Yes.
might not even know them.
Mm-hmm. That's right. That's right. And that falls in the category of being more sensitive. Being more sensitive. And that is exactly why I said pay attention to your environment when you're out. Because a lot of us are on the phones and we are texting and looking at social media. Pay attention to your environment when you are out shopping, when you are out taking care of your business, running your errands. Pay attention to your environment, because when you pay attention to your environment, then you can see and know what you need to do for someone else if you need to. So pay
Yeah,
attention to your environment. So
yeah,
Lisa, I
absolutely.
thank you so much for everything you stated. Everything you said was so on point. So I'm
Well,
glad.
I appreciate you having me on. I really have enjoyed speaking with you tonight, and this was good for me.
Yeah.
And I hope that what whoever is listening,
Hmm.
I hope that it touches them. I hope it wakes them up a little bit. I hope it makes them more aware.
Yes.
I hope that it makes them evaluate themselves a little bit more. It makes me, even now, we should never stop evaluating our own selves.
That's right.
Even when we think we've made it, which we haven't.
We
But
haven't.
even when we think we're in a good spot, we still have to stay prayerful. We still have to keep moving forward. We still have to keep pushing through, because tomorrow might not be just like today,
That's right. That's right. And we do not know what is going to happen next. So we
Yeah.
must stay prayerful. And listeners, I appreciate you for tuning in to SB Favorite Thinking Podcast. I am looking forward to sharing more inspirational topics with you. And Lisa will be back again. Lisa, you're going to come
I
back
most
again?
absolutely will. As long as you invite me, I will be right here.
Okay, because I like this topic, and like you said, Lisa, somebody needs this, and this is what this podcast is all about. And
Absolutely.
so, listeners, I thank you so much for tuning in. If you need to reach me, you can reach me at sbfavor@yahoo.com via email. You can also find me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. I also have a YouTube channel at sbfavor. Please tune in, and you will not miss an episode of SB Favorite Thinking Podcast. Make sure when you tune in to the podcast on YouTube, click like, subscribe, and please leave me some feedback. If you leave me something negative, I'm going to ignore you, because that is my role. So I thank you so much for listening, and you have a good day.